D&Dark is an absurd, over-the-top comedy horror adventure that is intended for older audiences. Content warnings can be found in the episode descriptions.
Hello and welcome to D&Dark, a comedy horror adventure Realplay podcast, loosely based on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and starring some of history's most infamous monsters. I'm Danger Dan Jerz, and I'm your host, / Crypt Keeper.
Hello everyone, I'm Aaron, and I play the Angel of Music, our bard. I died last time. That was pretty cool.
Again.
You're fine. You're fine. Walk it off. You're fine.
To paraphrase Dan, now of the 2 times I've died, I haven't. So that's pretty cool. We had a pretty harrowing fight against Dracula. There were good times. There were bad times. There was a fuck zone. There was smoke. But then in the end, Orcus managed to rise and merge with Renfield. So we're going to have to go handle that situation.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ben Magnet. I play Mary Frankenstein, our barbarian paladin. Whoop, whoop. And last time, ding dong, the vamp is dead. Which old vamp? The evil vamp. Ding dong, that fucking vamp is dead. We killed Dracula.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, he's in his health sleep. He's like super vulnerable, so he shouldn't be much of a...
We got him on the back foot.
You got him on the back foot.
We got him on the run.
Hey, I'm just happy that I was able to deal a killing blow to one of the BBEGs that we've been fighting, so that just made me super happy, okay?
It was pretty fucking cool.
It was really cool.
So we got rid of Drac, or at least we got him in his healing sleep. But we know where he is, and we could finish him off. And then the Prince of Undeath, Orcus, decided to show up, and now we're like, oh no. We thought Drac was the real BBEG, not anymore. So this is going to be fun.
Hello, my name is Daniel Cruz, and I play Imhotep the Mummy, and Phantom died again, and I didn't need to sacrifice myself to bring him back this time.
Yay!
Woo! Mary got to do a really cool thing, I think. I don't remember watching it, so I mean...
Oh my god.
The curse is real, boys. The curse is real.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I play Larry Talbot, the lycanthropic warlock. And last time, oh my god. So we got to see the culmination of everything happen. We got to see Renfield finally, I think, complete his ultimate plan of merging with Orcus. But he was not able to do what he needed to do with Dracula, which what I believe was absorb the soul. We were able to rescue Vordenberg, but only just the bare scraps of what was left not burned up by Dracula. The avatar of Orcus, Renfield was able to impart some influence over it, or else I think we would have gotten smoked right then and there. And then he made his leave. And now we have walked out of Warwick Castle, and we are seeing the ultimate calamity of blood in the streets. There's blood everywhere.
We're definitely in the, cover of a heavy metal album phase.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hello, I'm Grayson. I play Jack Griffin, the party's invisible man. I'm honestly surprised that Jack didn't go down in that fight. Took some big hits.
From who? From us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was able to walk out of there with a nice tan. And now I think we're going to be coming up into some more stuff that Jack is he's way out of his depth in all of this.
Aren't we all, though, at this point?
Yeah. We're just going to hopefully get out of this situation and recoup somewhere else and call up some allies.
All right, and with that, let's get apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So, you are all on the outskirts of Warwick Castle. The avatar of Orcus is in the sky above you, currently flying over the city streets of London. There is blood pooling from the streets below you. Everything is warping and twisting around you. The sky has turned red, and almost magnetically, any errant undead are slowly beginning to flock towards him. Imhotep, No save required. Explain to me what happens as you feel yourself momentarily compelled to join in and magnetically drawn towards him, and how you resist that compulsion.
So everybody watches for a moment as Imhotep, who still has a Necronomicon, right? If I remember.
You do still have the Necronomicon.
He's kind of holding it like to his chest, and you all watch as his face just kind of goes blank. He lurches forward, but as he does, each of his bandages wrap around Larry's, Mary's, Jack's, and Phantom's arms. And as he lurches forward, that is what keeps him from going forward. And he kind of slowly gets back his composure, looks around at everybody else, realizes that he's holding on to them, takes a moment, takes a breath, unwraps the bandages, and puts the book into the bag and says, "This is very bad."
There is an energy that is pulsing out of the Necronomicon as the power of Orcus himself is emanating, copied from the stolen knowledge of his domain that is the Necronomicon. And you are just ever so slightly out of sync as that magnetic force starts to pull you in and the force of the Necronomicon reels you back.
Okay.
And witnessing this, Kilmarnock, who is simultaneously watching the effect that Orcus is having on the landscape and on everything around him, and that the Necronomicon is having on you, will say,
"I believe the power of my tone will be instrumental in the coming fight. It seems that the demon Prince of Undeath is not immune to his own power. Hand that poem over to me, someone who understands how to utilize it properly, and we may see a way out."
And he freezes mid-sentence. And as all of you look around you, you can see that magnetic burst of energy that is coming out of Orcus also is stuck in the sky. Orcus himself is frozen in place in the sky. Everything around you is halted and stilled, similar to what happened inside the castle, but you seem to be the only ones unaffected as all of time around you has frozen and stilled itself in place.
So who knows the time stop spell?
I've been working on it, but I don't know it. Larry?
No, not yet, I think.
Jack, is this one of those science things?
I'll take that as a no.
And you hear a voice from behind you say, "We need to talk."
Oh boy.
Oh, shit.
And leaning up against the wall, you see a very gaunt, sharply dressed, angular man in a suit looking down at you and taking a few steps forward.
Oh no, he's here to talk to us about the Dark Universe Initiative.
Who are you?
I go by many names, one of which you've invoked quite frequently. Please, follow me. There's, as I'm sure you understand, quite a lot to talk about.
Phantom looks at his sandwich. He knows what's happening.
I think as Jack, I don't understand the context of this, so I'd like to try to do an insight check to see if we're going to get just completely walloped right now.
Can I also do an insight check to make sure that this isn't who I think it is?
Oh, it is, though.
It absolutely is who you think it is.
Cool. Imhotep is going to instantly freeze and not move.
He's going to take a few steps and disappear, and you can feel a heat begin to rise around all five of you.
Oh no.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
As you all are removed from this plane of existence, and you spawn into a lounge.
Ooh.
There is an ornate table spread out before you, filled to the brim with aromatic, well-cooked, delicious food. And large stained glass windows that if you were to look outside of, you would see nothingness stretching on for eternity. And you appear before this man who adjusts the ambient music of a record player, gestures to the table, and says, I know that you've been through quite a lot recently, so please, rest up. Regain your strength, have some food. You needn't worry about time, it will not progress until you are ready to return. Now, just take yourself a nice long rest. Here at the Devil's Bargain.
Awesome.
It's very cool.
This is really cool. All right, well,
Imhotep is still just standing and staring at him. Hasn't moved.
Can I do a roll, just like an insight roll or something, just to look at Imhotep and look at this guy?
Please do.
Okay, cool.
Imhotep, you also roll insight.
Okay.
7.
With a 7, Imhotep is acting very strangely.
Mine was a 2 on the dice, but an 11 roll.
oh man.
With an 11, you see very briefly in the reflection from the Hellraiser as this ostensibly human-looking man that looks an awful lot like Peter Cushing steps up to you. The reflection that is mirrored back in the Hellraiser is the familiar visage of the King of Hell.
No words. Just staring.
Mary looks at Imhotep, looks at the visitor, looks at Imhotep, looks at the visitor, doesn't connect the dots, not drawing his weapon, but just very on guard. He looks at the stranger and addresses him. I believe the phrase is not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but at the very same time, I would like to know who exactly are you, and why are you helping us?
He stands to gain from this, which means, against my better judgment, the food is safe to consume. You should go and eat, Mary.
You know him?
Unfortunately, we're relatively well acquainted.
I never got to meet this one. He wasn't there.
Is he connected to the one that took all that gold?
Tangentially.
How tangentially? Like, we talking vertically
Easily
or
off him.
horizontally? Oh,
Very, very vertically.
gotcha.
Your Egyptian friend is correct. I do stand to gain from this. Consider me an interested third party.
I also don't mean to pester you with too many questions, but if you stand to gain from this and you clearly display this immense amount of power, what's stopping you from jumping in?
There is a delicate balance, and there is only so much progress I can make at any given time before the scales are tipped the other way. The power of the abyss grows,
And so does mine. The power of the abyss wanes.
and so does mine. I do not want the abyss to spiral out of control any more than you do. There is only so much that I am allowed to intervene, but I can give you knowledge, and I can give you respite. So I insist. Enjoy yourself.
Azzy, you joining us? Phantom prestidigitates some dice. I know a couple of cool games from Paris.
Did you just call him Azzy?
While I appreciate the offer, I prefer to keep my attention on the larger game at stake. What do you know of the enemy that you're about to face?
I know that they're lethally powerful, and it seems nearly insurmountable.
Something about a Prince of Undeath?
Honestly, I don't know a damn thing. What I do know is that if we try to smash, he's probably just gonna get back up. And I'm gonna keep on smashing until he can't get back up again. But something tells me that's gonna be really hard to do.
Would you have any insight on how, well, like Mary said, we could actually win the fight?
You are partially correct. I will explain if you will partake in this hero's feast.
I was hoping.
Yeah. Imhotep growling. I can do that too.
I could have used this during Dracula's fight.
Mary, he kind of goes next to Larry. He just like looks at this visitor, this stranger, but he does trust Imhotep's judgment that the food is safe to eat. And he looks at the table, he picks up a piece of beef, takes a nibble of it, and then just goes, "Oh my god, this thing is seasoned beautifully. What is this, thyme, rosemary?" He doesn't go full barbarian nom 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 nom, but he's restrained, but he is like tasting and like enjoying things a little bit better.
A gourmand. Imhotep, do you feel comfortable enough to sit down? If you need some more time.
Just still staring at him. You know they all hate me now.
I am very well aware. And I know a thing or two about what it's like to be hated by all. It's easier if you just embrace it.
Ooh. Just kind of backs up. Never quite breaks eye contact. Backs up to the table and like reaches his hand around to try and grab something, but ends up like smashing like a bowl of like porridge. Scoops it
Splattering it everywhere.
And just starts shoveling it into his mouth, still staring down their new friend.
Oh, it's soaking into the bandages. Oh no.
So while we're eating, Jack's gonna raise his hand. Still have some more questions. So Imhotep here hasn't exactly told us how you two are potentially acquainted. I'm kind of gathering context clues. Are you, so you're the king of the hells. Still trying to wrap my head around that shit.
He's an asshole, that's what he is.
Okay, but how, trying to figure out like the name. Is it like the Christian version, or is it a different one?
I go by many names. Whichever you feel comfortable using. It's no slight on me.
Azzy!
Dickhead.
You would most likely know me best as Asmodeus. I've been called other things before. Old Scratch, Lucifer, Satan, the Devil.
Dickhead.
Most recently, Dickhead. Who I am matters less in this moment than what you have to gain from my offers. The enemy that you face is one of the princes of the Abyss, one of the supreme leaders of that force of dark energy, the demon prince of undeath, Orcus. Your interactions with Mr. Renfield might have clued you in a little bit to their dynamic, but the best point of comparison is that Renfield's bond with the Prince of Undeath is not dissimilar to Lawrence's bond with the Demon Prince of Hunger.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh, we're getting a little bit of lore on the wall.
Unlike Lawrence, who is the last bastion preventing the Demon Prince from materializing on your plane, and is the thing keeping him out, Renfield is the thing keeping Orcus in.
Oh.
Is there a chance that we can get Renfield back?
A way to sever the tie?
Potentially. And pitting the two of them against each other is your only chance of surviving this and coming out at all, really.
Oh gosh. You know, if his experience is in any way similar to mine, I don't think that'll be all that difficult. But I guess we'll just have to see.
They do currently have conflicting interests. They overlap, but they do not align.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Thank you, Jack. I was thinking the same thing.
The vessel that Renfield's soul is currently caged inside the flesh golem, is the tether that is tying Orcus to the material plane. Placing a human soul within an artificial body, empowered by the magic of the abyss, is a perversion of life that grants Orcus a foothold, but he is still only partially through, and is very weakly tethered, tied to, and dependent on Renfield. Should his plan have succeeded to house 2 souls within the one cage, Orcus would be able to fully come through, cement himself down in the material plane, and be unable to be removed from it. Should that outcome occur, my power will increase significantly, and the hells will be unleashed upon the earth to combat that force. I will still, in the end, square things away, but it's significantly messier and longer a span of time. I would much prefer that all of you be able to stop him while it is still possible. If you can sever the tie while there is only one soul in that body, if you can extricate that soul from that cage, or destroy the cage entirely, there will be nothing holding Orcus in the material plane, and he will find himself magnetically pulled back to his domain from whence he came. The way that he magnetically pulls and controls all of those under his sway.
Imhotep just narrows his eyes.
Now, as you've seen and as you've felt in your possession, the avatar of Orcus is susceptible to the power of the Necronomicon. It is his own magic, his own knowledge, and his own energy, and it can be used against him.
Are there particular spells that you could suggest?
That depends on the creativity of your mummy lord. And Imhotep, as you are eating this hero's feast,
Just porridge in hand.
Splatter going everywhere. Larry's getting a bit of it in his hair.
Stop! Why? What is happening?
all that aside, Imhotep, as the benefits of the hero's feast spell begin to come, you also feel a unique boon from Asmodeus himself. In addition to the benefits of the hero's feast, the sway over your mind that is keeping out the Cat of Orange intensifies, and over you and you alone, the perception filter that once disguised the aspects of the Necronomicon as the Egyptian scrolls begins to overcome you again. And within your grasp, you have, from your perception, not the Necronomicon, but the Book of the Dead. So, in addition to the benefits of Hero's Feast, for the next 24 hours, expiring when the Hero's Feast boons expire, you now can freely use the Necronomicon without suffering any insanity effects.
Oh my god.
Heck yeah, dude.
And, in addition, for the next 24 hours, your Channel Divinity ability, Destroy Undead, will be changed to Control Undead.
Okay.
You can use your Channel Divinity ability to force any undead within 60 feet to make a DC 17 Wisdom save, or be charmed by you and compelled to follow your orders for 1 minute.
Okay.
Aw, hell yeah, dude.
So he pulls the book out, he flicks through the pages, kind of runs his finger over the spells, points at like some incredibly powerful stuff, just casually reads through it.
I'm like, whoa.
There's a song in the back of it.
This dude is awful. Who wrote this? Closes the book again and puts it back in the bag.
Phantom's gonna have a shot of tequila, a very sad shot of tequila.
Wow, this handwriting is awful. It's as if somebody was under the sway of this book to write whatever this was.
But as I've said, the interests of Orcus and the interests of Renfield are not in sync. There is a viable soul that can easily be claimed and placed in that vessel, currently housed in the body of the vampire spawn Carmilla. However, Renfield has a particular stake invested in ensuring that the soul is bound to the essence of Dracula. If he is desperate enough, he may very well start the entire process again from scratch to ensure that he claims Dracula's soul, overpowers it by cohabiting the same cage, and becoming the vampire prince of death.
Erik raises his hand.
I'm not in the business of calling on hands. If you have something to say, say it.
Oops, you acknowledged me. That's the same thing. So you're saying that this the perversion soul cage creation thing is what allows Orcus to have any hold here. But we happen to have a soul removing scythe. If we could just get Larry to walk up and fish out the soul of Renfield, isn't that it? Then are we done?
I cannot claim to know what will happen if you sever the soul from the cage, nor how quickly that vessel will deteriorate without it. It is certainly a viable option, but I don't know that it is your most strategically beneficial one.
Well, good to know. Larry, something to keep in mind if we don't want to sacrifice anyone.
I think that will be the plan. We did give Renfield our word.
Would it also be beneficial to just go to where Dracula's sleeping, drive the stake through his heart, and just finish him off, and then that would be a really big setback for Renfield? Or are we just going around in circles at this point?
It would be beneficial for more than a few of you, for more than a few reasons. And he's going to look directly at Imhotep. But if you know where Dracula is, then you know where Renfield is going.
St. Mary's Cathedral.
God damn it!
Rolls off the tongue, it does.
Oh, where this whole thing began.
I bet my nose is still over there.
Yeah!
As you have mentioned, having a few offers for us to help. So far, the information has been nice. I think you did something to Imhotep, but I can't tell. He's very damp, so I'm not looking at him very closely. What else were you going to offer?
And as you say that, you hear the ringing of your own words within your ears at unusual vibrational frequencies. And you can feel your senses heightened as you are becoming more in tune with the natural acoustics of the world around you.
This is like August Rush.
As a maestro is keen to notice, things tend to happen in a certain rhythm. And that rhythm can be easily manipulated, interrupted, or altered. And you feel a sense memory of the sensation that happens whenever Dracula uses his lair action to alter your perception of time and force initiative rerolls, as well as the song of the Dies Irae. And with those tunes in sync with each other, passing through you, and the vibrations of the world around you that you are now more savvy to, for the next 24 hours, you will be able to use that information to conduct the battlefield, and you have complete 100% control of initiative.
Yes.
With, of course, the caveat that everybody has to have a turn.
Ho ho ho. Yes. No, this is very exciting.
Sad French noises.
Erik puts his hand down. No, I get it now. No, I've got it.
What did you just get?
Wouldn't you like to know? And then you start eating slower.
Oh, wow.
Imhotep, you want to jigglypuff him?
kind of looks at Jack, reaches his hand into the bag. He's like, no, it's not as fun. It's not as fun.
Fine. Jack's back to normal speed.
What the heck? Well, I could only imagine the shenanigans you're going to get up to soon. Speaking of, Imhotep, you're spilling onto the floor.
There is now a pool, just like it's up to the ankle pool of porridge.
From my angle, he looks like he's paper mache at this point. I didn't know there's that much porridge on the table.
Shakes his hand out and gets all the goop off, and then just is done eating.
Ah! More on me! Ah!
I'm going to scoot over.
Then, Jack, as you are returned to a normal perception of time, you do notice that the speed at which you are set back to is slightly off from your normal resting state. You have to kind of adjust to the fact that you are operating slightly faster as your natural mobility and nimbleness are enhanced. For the next 24 hours, you will be under the effects of the Long Strider and Freedom of Movement spells.
Ooh!
Oh, shit!
So what Long Strider does is it increases your movement speed by 10 feet, and the Freedom of Movement spell makes it so that you are completely unaffected by difficult terrain. Spells and other magical effects can neither reduce your movement speed or cause you to be paralyzed or restrained.
Ooh.
You can also, if you are non-magically restrained, such as being grappled or being pinned, you can spend 5 feet of your movement to automatically break free.
Ooh.
I choose to believe the non-magical part is that he's rubbing the porridge all over, so now he's just like slippery. Grapple me now.
I dare you.
That's so much worse. Mary, try and grapple me.
Okay, and I just go in for a bear hug.
And then I'll use 5 feet of movement, and you just feel him almost like, I would say his body kind of like compresses a little bit and
just
slips right out from under your grasp.
What?
Oh, never been able to do that before.
Yeah. Okay, that's new.
Wow, look at you go.
Wow, I guess you really didn't want that hug. God damn.
And Mary, as he slips out of your grip, as you step back away from that, you can feel some energy pouring out of your neck bolts, similar to the phenomenon you experience when you go into a rage and call up a storm. And the heat and temperature of the room begins to fluctuate. And this is hard to explain in universe, so just above table, what your boon is that your storm aura, as an ongoing effect for the next 24 hours, will amplify any existing weather effects or phenomena in the area that you're in. And the area that you will be going to will, of course, be under a dramatic lightning storm. Ooh. So, in the areas where you are fighting and participating in, there will periodically be lightning strikes that will hit the land around you, acting as an environmental hazard to everybody else, but as a resource for you.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
This will mechanically function similarly to the dropping floor in Big Ben. You will be telegraphed at the start of a round where lightning will strike at the end of a round.
Sitting next to Mary as he gains that boon, the hair on the side closest to him just starts to raise with static electricity.
So you got it gooped down on one side and then like staticked up on the other.
He's a real mess right now.
Larry, something's up with your hair.
Oh. He tries patting it down and it won't go down. God dang it.
As you're reacting to everything around you and patting yourself down, you feel a heat coming off of your tarot cards.
Ah!
And as you reach for them, we did not do a card of the day for today because what your boon is, as you reach for your tarot cards, they all flick through your hand and cycle through each other one at a time. For the next 24 hours, rather than choosing a card of the day, you have access to the entire tarot deck interchangeably at your command.
Oh, shit.
You can only use one at a time, but at any time, you can swap to a different tarot card and use that card's ability, which includes the moon.
Yeah.
So you can go back and forth and change in and out of your werewolf form.
Oh, so it's not you spend a card and throw it away. It's can use all of them.
All of them interchangeably.
Wow,
Holy crap.
sick.
Only one at a time.
Yeah, I can't just all of them. I'm invincible. But as Larry's like throwing and trying to like rub off the porridge from Imhotep's side, flatten his hair from Mary's side, all of a sudden his cards start burning in his pocket and he picks it up and he's like, oh, ow. And they just splay out across the floor and he's like, oh no, they're all active. Oh.
Are they usually like that?
No, this is different. Neat. Okay, I can work with this. He just awkwardly scoops them back up as they're all like glowing and emblazoned with energy.
All right, and now that I've gone over everybody's unique individual boons, you also get the benefits of Hero's Feast. The creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. The creature is cured of all diseases and poison, becomes immune to poison and of being frightened, makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage, and its hit point maximum increases by 2d10.
Thank you? That was you, right?
It is the most I can do.
The most that you can, or most that you're willing to do?
A distinction without a difference.
Ooh.
All right, well, it's clear he's not going to come sit with us, so we should probably get a little bit serious while we've got the time. What do you think we're all walking into?
I don't know. The biggest thing that I could really think of is try and call up whoever we can to see if they're willing to help us out. Because, I mean, we've been kind of going on this entire journey thinking to ourselves that Dracula was the biggest threat. And I mean, even before that, we thought it was Rayner or Renfield. And now we find another huge thing that we're up against, and I absolutely find myself out of my depth, but I'm trusting all of you to hopefully we can pull each other through this.
We do have allies. I mean, they're scattered, but we have them. We are going to need help with this one.
Agreed. Now that said, Christine off the table. I've been a source of danger in her life pretty much from the beginning. I will not be doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
She's been through enough as it is.
She's in Paris now, right? So she's far out of the way of the danger.
I sure hope so. I mean, I didn't follow her or like anything. I don't know. She left.
I mean, she still has the fucking gun, so.
May it serve her well.
I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I can ask Victor.
Well, a lot of our allies were sent to his house, so I think we do need to make a stop there.
I'm sure we could always reach out to Marlowe. He does have igneous and sandstone, I think it is, and they are very fast at getting in and out of places. So maybe we could have a majority of people meet up in some location of our choosing.
If it's Marlowe, probably you should call Jack. I don't know that a lot of us left on good terms.
Marlowe is so fickle, but I give it my best shot.
I've been putting off talking to him for a while, so I'll be on that call with you, Jack.
Perfect.
You know, it's either that or the end of the world, so I think that'll help, certainly.
Look, it'll give my chance to have actually apologized to him, because the man who is too long was fucking with me, and I don't like that.
If we can explain ourselves in the situation, that should help as well.
Hopefully it'll be like, okay, cool, bygones be bygones, but with him, I have a feeling he's gonna hold this grudge for a little while.
Also, going into this, I could only assume that we're going to be needing supplies. There's a few things that I do need to re-up on, but I mean, I don't know how useful a lot of my things can be. I mean, I'm sure that they can help, but there's got to be other things that could be more useful.
I think getting you well equipped is a great idea. We saw the effects of that just recently, and they hurt. Imhotep, there is someone out of the way that we can't just call or otherwise, reach out to. Your wife packs a punch. Are we gonna bring in your wife? Because I need to apologize.
I really had hoped for her to be able to enjoy her rest, but I suppose if there is no world for her to rest in, suppose I should wake her up one more time.
I mean, you can't not bring her into this.
I mean, would you want to bring your loved one into the end of the world like this?
I mean, you guys are already my loved ones, and we're already kind of neck deep in it as it is, so we kind of have no other choice.
Daddy, you can't just say stuff like that. That's not fair.
Thanks, Mary. That's so sweet, Mary.
Well, the last one who I actually had any sort of affection for got burned at the stake, and I kind of want to make sure all of us live through this point, and I just got on decent talking terms with the guy who decided to build me, so I kind of like the world to keep on spinning, please, and thank you.
I know.
All right. We head to Frankenstein's place, we pick up Namun, and whatever else is there.
We did have Capri-Sun for a little bit, but...
I do recall that during the working out, it was described as him not being ready yet.
Oh.
Yeah. I do remember when we saw him last, he was, oddly enough, lifting weights.
Yeah, he got swole really quick.
This is good. We've got a good list going.
Actually, Larry, we can add one more, or two more. One of them you have in your pocket, and I was hoping to try and talk to him for a little bit.
Vordenberg?
Yeah. Oh, he's not doing great, but
I know.
Here. And I'll slide the card over to you, and you see just like the thin, painterly outlines of the familiar face of Vordenberg.
Now, real quick, before we activate him or wake him up or whatever, would he be particularly comfortable here in, obviously, hell?
I wouldn't call it hell.
The devil is right there, and he is a cleric.
Yeah, I mean, time stopped, and we have time to rest. I'm going to use the time to rest, but I also want to talk to Vordenberg before we start things up, because I have a very distinct feeling that once we get going, we're gonna keep on going, and we're not gonna have time to rest or do anything for a while.
Looking at the card, would I be able to know if there's anything that we can do in order to help it, I don't know, be better? Like, look healthier?
There's not really anything you can do.
Look healthier, you just get some crayons and just, but it doesn't, I don't think, there's anything we could do.
It's the equivalent of the end of the Lego movie when Liam Neeson's good cop, bad cop just crayon scribbles a face on him.
Oh no!
It's not actually fixing the problem.
Oh, so sad. But yeah, Mary, if you want to hang on to him for now, I feel like with the journey you've taken, you guys probably share a certain kinship.
What his other half did after what Carrie and I separated from him, we can't forget it. But this part of him has helped us tremendously throughout all of our trials and tribulations ever since we saved him from Carrie and I's clutches. I feel like I owe it to him to either get some form of rest, or at least to tell him as one guy who took an oath of redemption to another to plead his case to Maria Van Helsing and say that he has redeemed his soul.
After you're done with that conversation, Imhotep, do you think that there's anything that we can do to help his soul move on?
We'll be at his final resting place.
Just tuck the card just in between a couple of ribs.
I do not think it is something we can discuss while Orcus is being Orcus.
Right.
No, but my fear is the fact that Orcus may have some sort of power to rip the soul from that card.
I don't think it's any good to him anymore.
No.
I think they, like Asmodeus was saying, they need to start again. He's just about burned up.
And if Vordenberg has any power left to give, I was hoping he could help me or us, or in some way or form help the group. But if he doesn't, then he has earned his rest.
Absolutely.
The other person I was talking about, Victor did say he was working on another one of me. I know I told you guys this, right? You guys remember that? I told you this?
You did?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, You talked about wanting to bash his face in for basically making another one.
Maybe not bash his face in, but give him a very stern talking to. But if she can help, she could be an ally. A very powerful ally.
If she's anything like you, we'd be absolutely lucky to have her.
So, I know we sent Maleva there too. She's definitely not someone that can be on the battlefield, but maybe she has a little bit of insight. I'm sure this is also way out of her wheelhouse, but every little bit we can get, it helps. And I really do want to see her. It's been too long.
Speaking of, if there's anyone that we all want to talk to, this might be one of the last opportunities that we have.
Ah, how foolish of you, Jack. We're going to have a great opportunity when we're all through it and on the other side. All of us.
Eric's right. We gotta believe we can do this. And this is one last wonderful night that we're gonna have before this all goes down, so I say let's enjoy it. Let's have a great meal, let's enjoy each other's company, and let's get ready for tomorrow. We'll regather with all of our friends and go forward, and we'll do it. I believe we can get this done.
Well put.
Thank you.
Let's practice a tradition that may have crossed over into the Americas. Mary, after all this, what are you looking forward to doing?
Jack, I was about to ask you all that exact same question. I still don't know a lot of things. I want to get a proper education. I feel after this is all said and done, I can do some good that doesn't involve violence all the time. And I want to try and study philosophy and maybe the law, not to dispense justice, but to show that justice, real justice, doesn't have to be when a wrongdoer dies. I can help other monsters coexist with the humans and maybe help those along the way who may have not been able to find redemption.
A noble goal.
Something along those lines. And also, I kind of want to keep cooking. Food is amazing, and I'm kind of mad at myself for just not trying anything like the seasonings, because seriously, that would have made my nights in the forest so much better.
So, moving on down the table.
When this is all said and done, I'd love to go home for a little bit. Lanwelly is a lovely little small town, but I have very much someone I need to go back and see.
I don't think you guys are gonna like my answer.
You've told us it before.
Yeah,
but
you've told
whatever
us
you need
before.
to do.
Do you actually know how you're gonna do it? Like, pass on? Do you just collapse? Do you simply not vibe with this universe anymore? I don't.
Well, it's not that I don't vibe with it. It's just looks to Asmodeus. When this is all done, and finally I am all done, is there anything protecting me from kind of points down them?
The only tie that he has remaining is the one to me.
So he fulfills that contract, and maybe he goes to where he wants to go?
Whatever happens to him after that is between him and his pantheon.
If that is the case, once we are done here, assuming we finish things, then I will be free.
We'll miss you, Imhotep.
So, like, after your soul passes away, and this is just like, a body you don't have any attachment to.
Oh no.
What are you asking?
Can we eat it as mummy jerky? I hear it makes you immortal. I am led to believe it does wonderful things.
He scoops up the porridge and says, "Would you like to try some?" And he does. I hate the fact that this keeps being relevant.
No, it doesn't, because we're flashing forward 8 hours.
God damn it.
If there's any other socializing you guys want to do before that.
Well, I know that you just asked, and we definitely saw it and didn't have to skip past it for criminally uncomfortable reasons. Jack, I realize now that I had quite a fixation on the curse in my life And Phantom pops off his mask and puts it down. It's covered in porridge. On people's initial reaction to the parts of me that they could see. And I have a gift. I do as well. And I never focused on that, on what I could give. Not freely, anyway. So I think after all of this, I'm going to give what I can back to, well, my country. This one kind of sucks. I'm going to go back home. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be something amazing, and it's going to be something for the people I care about.
And that reminds me, a thing that I forgot to do, because so much was happening that there wasn't really a good time for it. Phantom, change your alignment from neutral evil to true neutral.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
And I might still smack some people, because it's not good yet.
It's not good yet, but
It's better than nothing.
But the fact that on your deathbed, the last thing that you did was, in complete selflessness and sincerity, you attempted to reach out and appeal to Dracula's better nature. That pushed you over the edge.
And it's good to be over the edge. Asmodeus over in the corner, like, oh, he looks less cool now. Oh. Well, Jack?
I think I want to try and make some sort of order over in the Americas. Maybe one that's centered on protection of everyone. I might need some help. If you guys ever find yourself across the pond, as it were.
Absolutely.
One of these days, when this is all over, I would love to go over the ocean and see you.
And I'll make sure to burn down Coney Island so that way Phantom can show up.
I appreciate that so much. I could not go over there. Meg is still there somewhere.
Larry's gonna hold up a glass to bright new futures, to helping others, and to seeing all each other again. Yakida.
Here, here.
Alons.
Something in Coptic that I'm too lazy to look for right now.
So while everyone is still eating and talking, Jack will start grabbing all the stuff that he snagged from the previous laboratory and start trying to figure out how he can compile and put everything all together for his potential upgrade for his grapple gun that he's been kind of tinkering with a little bit. Let's see if I increase the tension over here. Maybe this can go a little bit further. Nope, that'll break it. See if I adjust the compression.
And
right
then
here.
by the end of the 8 hours of long rest, your tinkering will have successfully gotten you your legendary weapon.
Yay.
Go ahead and add to your inventory
What do you get? What do you get?
the getaway plan.
Oh, heck yeah!
That's so cool.
That's such a good name!
A work of deadly ingenuity created by Dr. Jack Griffin, combining all of the mechanical know-how and experience he has accumulated during his trials in the English countryside. The Getaway Plan is a legendary weapon that serves as an enhanced combination grapple gun and crossbow. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. In addition, it has the following properties. Whenever you are targeted by an attack, you can use your reaction to immediately make a counterattack with the Getaway Plan.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can use your bonus action to activate the grappling hook and pull a creature size large or smaller 20 feet closer towards you, or vice versa. And as an action, you can rapid fire multiple bolts into the air, splitting them mid-air, targeting an additional 1d4 creatures within range with your attack. You must roll separate to hits for each target, and sneak attack damage can only apply to one target.
Very cool.
That's awesome. That is so badass.
But basically, you can use that to rain a small volley of split arrow bolts.
Oh, it's gonna rain.
We're all waking up the next day and there's just arrows sticking vertically out of the floor all over.
Like, whoa!
I made a new toy.
Oh god, it's the Invisible Man again. Get him!
No. It would have been bad if he had this, but we'll just make sure that he doesn't come back. Also, I did have an idea, but I really don't think it's going to be that useful. But Larry, since you're probably the one to ask about this, he's going to reach into his coat and he's going to pull out a vial, and it's going to have kind of like a pinkish hue to it. This substance right here, it's one of the mental stability potions that I made. Do you think that this would be useful against Orcus to maybe bring out Raynor? Or Renfield?
That could be something.
I don't know if it would just make Orcus hesitate or something, but I made 2 of these. Originally, one was of course for me, and the other one, I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking.
I don't know if it would interrupt the connection, but it might help fortify Renfield's mind, if that's how it works anyways. It's worth a shot.
I'll hold on to this for a bit.
And you know, if fate's on our side, maybe we'll see Dr. Jekyll again. Hopefully as an ally, but who knows?
I can only hope. It's, call me crazy, but I trust Phantom's call on trying to bring him back.
I appreciate that, Jack. But if it's all the same to you, Erik.
I will keep that in mind.
All right, let's cut to Mary communing with Vordenberg.
So I take the javelin, I put the Vordenberg soul card on top of the javelin, crisscross. Knowing that last time, bursts of anger got me, I just try to channel the lightning from my bolts to the javelin to see if that, takes me to whatever plane of existence or way to talk to Vordenberg that way.
And you connect this time fairly immediately, and you find yourself floating in essentially television static.
Ooh.
And through white noise, faintly flickering in and out before you, you see the outline of Vordenberg. I don't know how much of our audience is going to get this reference, but it's like in the game Myst, when you're communicating at the beginning of the game with either of the brothers and you've only got one page. In the FMV videos of them flickering in and out of existence very, very briefly, where it's 90% static, but in short bursts they appear. That's what's happening with Vordenberg.
Oh. Yeah, Dracula did a number on you, didn't he? Baron Vordenberg? Still there? Can you even hear me?
It's choppy, but he starts to speak and gets cut off and nods.
Larry kind of has your soul in a card. It was the only way we could get you out of there relatively safe. I don't think Carrie Knight's lantern would help you. Oh yeah, Carrie Knight's gone. We took care of her. But, there's a new threat. And I know I have no right to ask this of you, but we are facing a literal demon of undeath who calls himself Orcus. And if there's anything you can do to help, I would immensely appreciate it. And before you give your answer, I want you to know something. I took it up. Your original oath. I walk the path of redemption. And even though you and I don't see eye to eye on many things, I still do not trust the church. I don't trust members of the clergy. But I know people can be redeemed. I could be redeemed. And even though I've heard you say that your soul is too far gone, I honestly don't believe that. Not anymore. Not after what you've done for us. So when this is all over, I'm going to give you, Baron Werner von Vordenberg, my word that I will do my best to talk to Saint Maria van Helsing and plead your case for your own salvation. For in my eyes, you have redeemed yourself.
I oath was to end Constantine's legacy. Dracula is legacy. End Dracula. Pass on in peace.
Well, good news is Dracula, he's not dead. Okay, so I got a really cool hammer and I kind of used it to drive your javelin into his heart. But he's not dead, like fully dead, because vampires, they poof, they die, they poof out, they go back to the sleep. But we're gonna take care of it, don't worry, he's gonna be gone. That's one of the things we're gonna take care of. But as far as Dracula's concerned, he will be a piece to be removed from the board. And then your vow is finished.
I was present. You went through, and work still needs to be done, but was rad as fuck.
He saw it, Mary. He was there.
Mary just cracks the biggest smile, and he's like, "Oh, I am so happy you saw that. I was so scared that once I driven the stake through, I was gonna end you, and because I knew that's what you really wanted. But yeah, I'm just glad we got you out the nick of time, man." Look, you and I may never see eye to eye, and we may never call each other friends, but I would like to call you a comrade. Our goals, our beliefs, our faiths may differ, and I know you went through hell and back, but I mean it when I say that I, Mary Frankenstein, forgive the transgressions your other half has made against us, and I am happy to say that I am so glad to be part of ridding Dracula from this world for good.
And with that, the static subsides, and you are back in the corner of the room where you had meditated.
After that, I feel Larry is the best person to have to hold on to his card.
Yeah, I can keep a watch of it.
It was difficult to speak to him. He's partially there, partially not. I don't think he's able to help us. But at least we can know that once we end Dracula for good, his hunt for Carmilla will end. Because Dracula was Carmilla's legacy, and once that's over with, he can pass on peacefully.
I'm glad. And I'm sure he appreciates you reaching out to him like that.
I hope so. I told him that I've forgiven him for his transgressions against us.
More than one of us on this team has a bad side, so part of the ship, part of the crew, I suppose.
Yeah. I just would like him to find peace.
We'll get that for him.
All right. And is there anything else you want to do before you all leave?
One detail as we leave. Phantom did not retrieve his mask. Or Erik did not retrieve his mask.
Hey!
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude!
Character growth!
All right. Asmodeus will nod to each of you. I trust that the time I've bought you will not have been a waste. However this turns out, this is the last time we will encounter each other as such. And the infernal energy of the room and the heat begins to rise as he begins to grow and change shape. And as he begins to morph into his more infernal forms.
There he is. There's the fucker.
Oh, that's so badass.
And then in a blink, he is gone. And you are all right back where you were standing before.
Well, back in the puddle of blood. That's great, I guess.
Know this yet?
Oh!
Oh, hi.
Hello!
Oh yeah, that's right.
So what are you waiting for? Hand over the Necronomicon to me, and
No, I think I'm good.
something is different about you.
Are we allowed to talk about it?
You didn't say no.
We didn't sign an NDA.
Imhotep looks at Kilmarnock and says, as much as I would love to give you the book back, I feel like I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it well in the coming battle.
What makes you think that you are more deserving of my stolen knowledge than me?
He opens the book to just a random page. Just read that. Just read it and not go nuts. Alright, yeah, you made your point. I get it. It's fine. But I can read it too. We made some bargains and deals and stuff, and I can use the book. When we're all done, it will be given back to you.
And the spell Pass Wall is what was cast. So there is now just a giant cartoonish hole in the wall behind him that leads right back inside Warwick Castle.
Well, if that didn't fracture your mind, then perhaps you are resilient enough to wield its power. And don't take this the wrong way, but I believe that you are more desperate for the aid it provides than I am.
Oh yeah, probably. Oh, definitely.
Speaking of, we're going to be having a party sometime soon, so watch out for your invites.
I will prepare myself, and regardless of how things turn out, I will keep an eye on that book, and I will be back to retrieve it from your corpse, whether or not you are victorious.
And if you're lucky, I'll have a party favor for you.
Thank you, your most eminent Kilmarnock. We will await you.
We will wait to behold you once more.
That party favor had better have
As he blasts himself with the incorporeal ray that sends him back into the ethereal plane. So you make your way back to the carriage. You tell me what the plan is going forward.
Well, as they walk up real quick, Raynor has been smudged off the side of the carriage. It says, "You suck, Orcus."
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right, now do real things.
Do we want to call Marlowe now, or do we want to call him later?
I think call Marlowe now, get the gargoyles moving, and we'll pick up the rest.
That seems like a good plan to me.
Mary, do you want to open up, or should I?
I have a feeling that if he sees me first, he's gonna hang up immediately.
I mean, he may hang up on me as well, but, I mean, we gotta do this.
He likes you more than me right now.
Yeah, he likes you, Jack. I don't know where this is all coming from.
I guess I'm just a little bit pessimistic right now, but sure, okay.
It's okay, we all have phone call anxiety, it happens. We just gotta get through it.
Thank you very much. He's gonna reach into his pocket and pull out that card. It's not hot to his touch right now, which is probably the first time it's ever been. So, he's like, how do I do this? And he's looking for the inscription, or he's looking for whatever it is.
As you are examining it, it begins to catch fire of its own volition. You drop it to the ground, it disintegrates, and the ashes form Marlowe's face.
Hey Marlowe.
Well. You sure have some nerve to come crawling back to me after everything that you've done and expect that I'll just welcome you back with open arms. I know that you're in a bit of a state right now and that things are tough and difficult, but I have needs too. And I feel like you haven't been holding up your end of the bargain.
What?
Oh, sorry, hang on, I'm not talking to you. I'm in the middle of something here, so,
oh yeah,
thank
carry
God.
on.
No, go ahead. Whatever you need to do.
It's been entirely too long since you've used that zone of truth on me, and I have some things I need to get off my chest.
The meals that I eat in this house didn't have a 70% chance of turning into insects. Maybe I would have the presence of mind to sit down and chat with you in between getting trampled by Mr. Tennant.
All right, fine, but don't come complaining to me when Dracula smears you across his pavement. I thought you wanted to be useful. Anyway, what can I do for you all?
We got a bit of a request, but also we have some information for you.
I've noticed that something's changed, and assumed that it would follow on the heels of the people that caused the last couple of apocalypses, so please enlighten me.
We're working on mopping up some of our messes, and, well, this one wasn't necessarily all of our fault. We followed through with beating Dracula. However, Renfield had a backup plan, and his backup plan was some demon of undeath called Orcus.
Oh, so you're playing with the big boys now.
Not purposefully. To an extent, he's gonna cover whatever the speaking part is of this conversation. Guys, should I just tell him about Asmodeus?
No, we don't need that part mentioned. That's between us.
Okay. Uncovers the speaking part. So, yeah, we've got some
So something
big
about
things
Asmodeus.
Yeah, there's there's some big religious thing, and there's a dais that we need to go. I'm not good at this.
All right, I get the picture. You're out of your depth and you need a hand. So just tell me where I need to meet up with you and we'll be there. I've got a new pet paladin. He's kind of useless right now, but maybe he'll be able to help you out in a little bit.
You gotta call me a pet?
Well, you took offense at hostage, all right? I'm trying to meet you halfway.
I thought we were helping out each other here.
Real quickly, I don't know if this is the part where maybe Mary wants to apologize and explain what was going on.
Yep, this is the part.
Oh, the whole hostile aggression thing. I was going to hold that against you, lord it over you, and be a whole thing, but enough's changed. Bygones can be bygones. But if you want to apologize, I'm happy to hear how you were wrong and I was right.
Okay, yes, I want to apologize. I was in the wrong. And in some smidgen of defending myself, it was the man who is too long. That son of a...
did that asshole do something here?
Yeah, he was making Marlowe say words that he wasn't saying, but I was hearing him. What Marlowe was saying wasn't what I was actually hearing.
Oh, so was it the subtitles? I know localization can be weird sometimes, so we can hand wave that away. Yeah, everything's fine. I'll treat it like nothing happened.
Okay, cool.
See, Marlo, that's how you take accountability.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your friend seems interesting. Feel free to bring them along. I don't know if you want to let your pet off or hostage off the leash. And we're hoping that you can utilize Igneous and Sandstone to gather some people. They're really quick and they're very talented, so...
As you're praising the movement speed of Igneous and Sandstone...
Oh my god!
They melt up from the ground behind you.
Oh, they're so cool.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that sentiment. We really don't get the kind of praise that we deserve sometimes.
Oh man, I miss these guys so much.
So, what can we do for you?
Can we ask you to gather a couple of people and meet us over in Fairstead?
Sure. You can just give us like a basic description. We can run you in a message.
Yeah. So he's gonna take out a piece of paper, start writing down some names, and then writing down general descriptions and locations.
And then in that like jittery stop motion claymation, they take the description from you. They both pore over it, look back and forth with each other, nod.
Thanks so much. And thank your boss, too.
Oh, you're welcome. You can just thank me to my face.
Oh, shit.
Thank you, Marlowe.
Thought that you sent them and hung up on us.
I guess I will say goodbye here. Jonathan, if you want to weigh in, this is your last chance to say anything before I hang up, so...
We're gonna go fight Dracula? Is that what's happening?
Dracula is definitely on the table, and...
Yes! Finally!
Did anyone else know what was happening there?
Not at all.
Nope.
Awesome.
I get the feeling that a lot has happened. Like 3 hours of good content has happened, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
And the carriage delivers you to the British Royal Museum.
Here we go, folks. And he opens the Necronomicon as he steps inside.
On the pedestal where Sparkles once was, Sparkles is again.
Yeah!
Walk over to him and pat his head.
Can I rush down to the dinosaur exhibit?
Well, do you want to rush down to the exhibit, or do you want the exhibit to rush up to you?
Oh, exhibit rush to me! Exhibit rush to me!
So the first thing that happens before Imhotep does any incantations from the Necronomicon, you hear a small pitter-patter coming from the lower floors, making the way up the staircase.
Oh, he's a dog!
Azizi!
And the Mastiff Azizi clambers up to this floor, looks to Imhotep, not fully recognizing him.
Oh, yeah.
Gone through some changes.
He did get gooped.
He gets to his knee, opens his arms.
Kind of crouches down a little bit, sniffs and looks suspiciously, and hesitantly begins to take some steps forward.
Just sits there, arms open on one knee.
Imhotep, make some kissy sounds.
Oh.
Oh, I hate that so much. He hesitantly walks up to you, sniffing, looking up at you, and then leaping up and licking your face.
Hugs him, gives him pets, pats his back.
And Azizi runs a few circles around you, like indicating and pointing towards the lower floors, and looking back between you and the book.
He kind of looks to everybody and he goes, "Are you ready for the chaos?"
Let's go!
Yes.
And he starts reading the incantation.
And a surge of energy flies out of the Necronomicon as Coptic runes begin to float off the page and flutter through the museum. The ground's foundation begins to shake and tremble, and you feel from behind you an antenna graze your back as the first thing to come to life is Sparkles the Scarab.
Yeah.
All my pets. All the pets.
Who lets out a small, shrill
Yes.
and then you hear a loud crash and banging, and the floor buckles beneath you for a moment, and tearing through and destroying the staircase on the way up is the skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex that charges up, leaving sheer wreckage along the way. The staircase is completely unusable.
Teresa!
And then finally, from the staircase that Azizi came up, a familiar mummy lord ascends, reintroducing Kendra Taylor as Namun.
Imhotep?
He sees Namun and just kind of quickly stands upright and closes the book and just, hi.
She's gonna walk a little closer and reach out her hand and just hesitantly place it on your cheek.
It feels a lot more rough than it did before, like physically rough to the touch.
Is that you?
It is a very long, very frustrating story, but it is me, my love.
I don't understand. I was just put to sleep, and just a moment ago, and...
For you, it was but a few moments. For them, it has been a few weeks. For this, and he kind of motions to his whole thing, it has been a lot.
But it is you in there. Yes?
He reaches out his bandages towards her.
She's going to take all of this in, the horn, the wings, the rough skin, and allow the bandages to caress her face, and she's going to, with a little more courage, reach out her other hand and place it over where his heart should be.
She feels it beating.
Ooh. It's you. I don't know how this is possible, but it's you.
This is not how I had hoped for you to see me. I had hoped that we would never need to re-meet on this side of the veil. But as you can see, kind of motions to the fact that everything is red and nasty. We need as much help as we can if we are to save as many lives as we can.
And she looks at him a little bit longer and then goes in for an embrace. Whatever you need, my love, I am here for you.
Oh, he holds her. He hugs her tight. The wing is also like folding over a little bit. We need your magic, your power, and that really good ability of yours to just kick ass.
I would love to help, but I'm still stuck here, aren't I?
He pulls out the Necronomicon. You are bound to this, and it is bound to me.
So I can leave these walls.
You can. And if the gods are willing, by the time this is done, you and I will be across and have our well-deserved rest.
She's gonna well up a little bit and shake it off and take a deep breath and... Okay. Let's go kick some ass.
All right. Books back in the bag.
Yeah.
On the way out of the museum, Erik slips by the gift shop, drops a few francs on the counter, and picks up the little music box that was there before. And he tucks it in his cloak.
And the carriage once again takes off towards a crossroads outside of Fairstead.
Aww. Is this the crossroads where children were yeeted into a pond?
Oh my God.
Memories.
The first thing that you see and hear as you approach and know that you are imminently on the doorstep of the Church of St. Mary's is you hear a small fluttering of wings as a familiar bat flies out from the treetops and perches nearby you, looking in incredible shape, having gone through the hard work, training, and effort to upgrade from a CR0 bat to a CR 1/4 giant bat.
Hell yeah. Look at you go!
My God, that bat is ripped!
Damn, you got swole!
Whoa!
Squeak!
Yeah!
And then, from a nearby road, traveling in the same direction as London, but taking a different route, you see, hesitantly emerging from the shadows, a guild man
Fishman
is hesitantly following the commotion and kind of crawls and darts in and out of the foliage. I would love to reintroduce Bailey Figurate as the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I'm back!
Oh!
Immediately after escaping, he found the nearest river and started to hurriedly swim away.
So the River Thames, got it.
Yes. But...
Gross, carry on.
But before he got too far, he realized that it didn't feel too good just leaving after being saved. Now he owes them something. So he decides that instead of just fleeing like a normal, rational person would do, he instead turns around and says, no. I'm helping, and there's nothing you can do about it.
What a good lad.
He was very confident coming back, but as he starts to get closer and closer to the epicenter where everything is gathering, he starts to get nervous, and nerves become terror. As he approaches, he does catch a glimpse of the people that saved his life, that helped him escape from his prison, and with a newfound determination, he steels himself, despite the fear, to accomplish his goal.
What a good bean.
And you notice, not far behind you, a familiar alchemist begins to walk up the street and reintroducing Fabrice from the Dread and Breakfast podcast as Dr. Henry Jekyll and Mr. Edward Hyde.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
This asshole.
Man, What's this guy doing here? I don't want to see him anymore.
You see Dr. Henry Jekyll and Edward Hyde, but we don't have to be coy. I'm on your team right now. You see Edward Hyde rolling his shoulders, and you hear like cracks as things are still like popping back into place. I fell too far. Not good. Was a bad time. Have been fixing myself ever since, and I'm looking to get some revenge on, if not the man who did this to me, then certainly the man who did him bad and put him in a place. I'm chasing a root cause. It might not make perfect sense, but I'm a scientist, so it makes sense to me. But yeah, I come strutting up. I have my hands up because I don't want people to try to kill me again, even though some people owe me a lot and they haven't paid up for that. I will do finger guns at Imhotep and be like, "Sup, dead man?"
Thaumaturgies, hey Jekyll, fuck you!
Imhotep, get ready to start your fight prone. Keep walking. Hey, Jack. Can see outline. I guess I can see you even though I know you're invisible. We don't have to. Hi. I'm here to help. I'm pissed. Not at you this time. What's up?
You seem to be having just about as hard a time as I was having a little earlier.
Yep. Just, as the kids say, got back to full hit points. So, I'm having a bad day. Point me at something. I mean to hurt some folks.
So we didn't get a lot of information, but I mean, we got the gist of what Renfield did. I'm assuming that you see the big old roiling storm up that way, right?
No, I was walking this way, just, I picked a direction and I started walking and then I saw that and then I was like, oh, that's something I should go investigate as a scientist.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, as a scientist, of course, like, we want to go and, like, figure out what the heck is going on.
I have a scientific theory that there's an asshole in that direction, and I'm gonna hurt him, because he was kind of a dick, and I don't like that. Almost killed me.
Well, how about this? You stick with us, and we're gonna go beat that asshole.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think, we had a truce before. Well, okay, you and I didn't have a truce before, but, I had one with your buddy.
Yeah, okay.
He'll go up, offer you a hand and be like, I can offer you the same deal. Truce again? Enemy of my enemy?
I just remember that the last agreement that was entered, there was still a lot of animosity.
I feel as though we got along fairly well until you came back to your senses and started being goody-goody.
I suppose. Let's hash this out a little bit more in detail.
By all means, what are your terms?
We clear up this storm. The storm is done. It's over. Clear blue skies. As soon as we see clear blue skies, wherever the cards fall is where they fall. But I will also tell you up front, Phantom sees some good in you. And I plan to honor that.
He takes back his hand, crosses his arms, kind of gives you a pout. We're in London, right? Famous for its blue skies. How about this? You see the red light everywhere? You see how we're all like spooky lit with red? What if we take that away and then we can go back to whatever it was before? How's that sound?
There's a reason why I said blue skies.
All right. I'm going to agree. I don't like it.
I'll also hold out the hand for the other guy as well.
Hyde will take a beat. His eyes kind of go glossy for like a second. Kind of shakes his head. Taps it a couple times. All right. I think I can make that agreement. And he reaches out and shakes your hands.
He nods his head. Doctor.
And from a path heading more northward, a large collection of the most unlikely assortment of people arrives between a combination of being on foot, being on carriage, levitating through the sky, as the Northampton crew arrives.
Yeah!
Led by carriage, helmed by Maleva.
Maleva! As soon as Larry lays eye contact on Maleva, he's just running like a madman. Just Maleva! And is just charging in full speed.
It is good to see you too, Lawrence. That is a bit much excitement for me for one day, as I'm sure you can imagine by the company that I am in.
So good to see you.
Yes, it is good to see you too, Lawrence. Can you please let go of me?
No.
And orbiting around the carriage, a deranged decadrone leading a squadron of intellect devourers.
It was where our evidence was requested.
And still inside the carriage are Carmilla and Orlok, which, a quick note to any listeners who have not heard the Patreon-exclusive bonus episode, Janae changed her name. So allow me to reintroduce Journey Papelian as the Countess Milarka Karnstein, otherwise known as Carmilla.
Thanks, fam. So Carmilla has been out getting her skull cracked open like one of the cold boys. Wait, yes. Things are... to get her memories back. Things are still a little mixed up, I think. But she has remembered a lot of stuff that previously was taken away from her, like a teddy bear in preschool.
And Orlok has been talking your ear off non-stop the entire carriage ride.
So then I told him it was a black omen to travel while you are ill. So he had no recourse but to stay in the house, and I was like, yes, I've got myself a new roommate. But then he tried to play with the dogs. Well, the dogs tried to play with him, and he just didn't really take well to that, so he just jumped straight out the window.
This is the reason I have social anxiety. Getting locked into, or locked into a one-sided conversation. Carmilla has entered her mind palace for the past 2 hours. Then the carriage stops and she starts hearing him again. And she's like, oh my god, I understand now. This is why you don't have any friends except for me.
Well, I consider that a marked improvement on not having you as a friend.
Aww.
So, chalk one up as a victory for old Orlok.
And then he pulls out a little pad of paper and makes one tally mark on a left and right side divided line.
Oh my god.
And on the right side that says everyone else.
Oh my god.
It is filled top to bottom with tally marks, and then the page folds over and it's another whole page worth of tally marks.
Oh my god. Orlok.
Things are looking up for me.
Carmilla is just staring into the void, being like, I can't believe I just said that I was his friend. What have I done? This will never end now. I can never escape.
There is a thing that you said early on that I don't want to let get away. When you said you were Orlocked into this conversation. I think this is a pretty good opportunity to introduce a new twist on an old mechanic. As an above-table thing for the listeners, I started to feel like the pun thing was getting a little mean-spirited because it was disproportionately affecting Journey just from the timing of her being on the show around the time we did away with it. So I have given, for her boon, we're flipping that on its head. So every time she makes a joke or a pun that is particularly painful to me, she gets a D4 added into a pool of dice, and whenever she lands a critical hit on an attack, all of the D4s in the pool are added to the damage as psychic damage on top of it.
Prepare for trouble. And if we're going to in and out, make it a double-double.
I am already regretting this.
Good. Now it's all concentrated, man. See, you've actually done yourself a massive disservice by allowing it to build up, like homework.
Oh, I know. I've been bracing myself for this for a while. Anyway, go ahead and add 1d4 to your pool.
Yeah, all right.
And following behind the carriage is a familiar mind flayer with an unfamiliar flesh golem, reintroducing Josh Anderson-Severi as Victor Frankenstein, as well as introducing Marissa from the Dread and Breakfast podcast as Percy Frankenstein.
Hey there, I'm Joshua Anderson-Severi, and I'll be playing Victor Frankenstein. And I have been hard at work perfecting my art form since you last saw me, and I think we're going to be really excited to see the fruits of that work today. The abyss is closer than it's ever been, and this is going to be a fight for our lives.
And hello, I'm Marissa. I am so excited to be back, this time as Percy Frankenstein. Percy is an 11-day-old physical creation, mentally going on 16-year-old teenage angst, perhaps. She has been built beautifully by Victor and trained to fight, and this is her first real foray into the world, so we'll see how all this goes.
It's not always like this, I promise.
I see Victor still in his squid form, and I see her for the very first time. A lot of emotions hit Mary like a freaking truck. There is anger, there is wonder, there is curiosity, there are all these things as Mary beholds the Bride of Frankenstein for the first time. But he is honestly a bit at a loss for words, because he remembers way back when he first began his journey, he wanted nothing more than to destroy the creatures that try to imitate Victor Frankenstein. But here is a genuine Victor Frankenstein article right in front of him, and he just looks over at this brand new creature, takes her all in and goes, "You're new?"
And I think Percy had been standing next to Victor because, again, like, this is very brave new world. Like, she's never really been out of the Frankenstein complex before. And she takes a couple steps towards you, and she's tall. She's like 7 feet tall. Her skin is similarly patchworked, but with more intentionality. It's cleaner lines. It's a more perfected design, shall we say. And she is lithe and she's slender, but she is toned. She carries herself with the grace of a dancer, or maybe more like a panther. And she kind of like squares up a little bit and she says, "So you're Mary? Huh. You're, not really what I expected."
What exactly were you expecting?
Sorry, it's just, I mean, you're a little rough around the edges. When's the last time you've got your ligaments looked at? Victor gave me a new left Achilles yesterday morning, and it's done wonders for my dexterity modifier.
Actually, this is all from day one, so I guess never.
Unfortunately, I didn't build Mary to be replaced and improved over time, an oversight in my initial design phase.
Yeah, because the first time I woke up, you kind of yelled and screamed in horror, ran away. I did the same thing. Things happened. There was a lot of fire. Let's just say the first time I woke up, things didn't really work out.
No, suffice to say they didn't.
Oh, and you've never wanted, like, an upgrade?
I didn't even know that was an option, to be perfectly honest. But let's just say I have picked up a few tricks along the way. And I kind of twirl Thunderbringer in my hand a little bit.
I think Victor's going to take a big step back there.
I think as Victor takes a step back, Percy will kind of take a step in front of him, almost like protectively, and she, less impressively, pulls a greatsword off of like her back and doesn't like hold it threateningly, but kind of like plants it in the ground very regally and knightly in front of her. And for flavor, can I say like the hilt has some like mind flayer tentacles coiling around in very ornate fashion?
That's rad.
Fucking sick.
Hell yeah. And she kind of gives you the once over.
Victor leans in. This is what I created you for.
to make you look cool? Okay, I can try. She kind of like looks you over, and there's a little like competitive glint in her eye as she looks at you, Mary, and she just kind of smirks. I guess we'll see.
Mary looks over at the greatsword. He admires it, sees the mind flayer tentacles, and goes, cute.
Oh, see, do I want to punch Mary?
So, does she have a name?
She named herself.
She stands up a little straighter with a little more pride. My name is Percy.
Percy.
Nice to meet you.
May I ask where you got the name from?
Well, haven't you read the Arthurian legends with King Arthur and Sir Percival and Sir Gawain? and she, like, I think her youth betrays her a little bit. Like, you know when you meet a toddler who's just so excited to show you their crayon drawing? She, like, pulls out the little pocket almanac of Arthurian legends. She's like, the stories about Sir Percival have been my favorite. You've read them, right?
Sadly, I have not. Really, I haven't had a lot of reading done for a while, but I do intend to rectify that in the future.
Well, I guess if you survive, you can borrow my copy.
I'm looking forward to that. How long have you been awake?
11 days and 6 hours and 43 minutes.
He glares over to Victor and mouths 11 days.
I work more efficiently now.
No doubt the new powers have helped.
If I'm being perfectly candid, my previous work was pure happenstance and luck. I see that now, and I think we can only improve, all of us, going forward.
This cannot continue.
Talk to me when the world isn't ending.
We will.
Then I guess we both have to survive then, don't we?
All of us need to survive.
And I look over to Percy.
So she's the one you told me about?
She's the one.
She's the only one, correct?
Right now.
I think even Percy looks a little taken aback, like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Dad, wait.
What does she know of me? What does she know of the group? And what does she know of the situation?
And then while everyone's getting caught up on all the relevant information, the House of Mysteries begins to materialize.
Yeah!
And stepping through the front doors, Marlowe saunters on out. All right, well, this kind of heroics thing isn't really so much my business, but I figure if Maledict can save his hometown, I should do the same with, the world. Also, Harker! You missed your cue! He looks back judgmentally at where Jonathan Harker isn't.
Are we here? You didn't tell me we were here! And then he's gonna come running out.
You have no sense of dramatic flair and presence, my friend. What is your problem?
I was in the middle of eating! Oh my god. Hey Marlo, I can't help but notice that there's literally every kind of creature or superhuman. You remember I'm just a guy, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to get over that real fast.
Okay. We will figure this out.
Consider this your final test and your deep end training to get that oath back. I know it hasn't quite solidified yet, but it really is now or never, buddy.
All right, well, you're coming with, right?
I suppose I just said I was. So, look, I'll be fine. My coffin's in the house. If anything happens to me, I'll just swoop right back in there. So, yes, I will do what I can to lend a hand.
Okay, this will be a nice change. It's nice to have immortal friends for once, so, I think with you here with me, I think we can figure this out.
And then Carmilla and Orlok emerge from the carriage.
Long time trying to look for a new place to move my coffin to. It was very uncomfortable. The only place before the sun came up was a church, and that was just a bad time for everyone involved. And oh my gosh, it's everyone! They're all here!
And then he makes eye contact with first the group and then with the House of Mysteries crew, and he locks eyes with Jonathan Harker.
Oh no.
Kind of narrows his eyes for a moment, and then slinks over.
No, please no.
Excuse me, sir.
Me?
You in the back over there behind Marlowe. Have we met before?
No,
because you seem...
I really don't think we have.
You really seem familiar. You wouldn't happen to be a Thomas Hutter, would you?
No.
Would you be related to a Thomas Hutter? Because you seem just like him.
My last name's Harker. Did you mean Harker?
You're like the spitting image of that guy.
I don't know him or you. I don't... Why do you ask?
You have just such a familiar vibe to it. You wouldn't happen to work in realty, would you? Maybe you're part of the same branch of the same firm.
I did. I worked in London. Did this guy work in the London realty?
No, he worked in the German branch. You might have the same boss. Is your boss like a really deranged old crazy guy who was causing all kinds of weird problems around the countryside, exhibited a strange amount of strength and charisma?
Jonathan's gonna slowly turn to the horizon where Renfield merged with Orcus is flying away. And he's like, well, now that you mention it, that does sound familiar, unfortunately. But his name was Renfield. Was the guy you're talking about, Mr. Renfield?
No, I'm talking about Anck. Who the fuck is Renfield?
Do you know why we're here? Do you know where you are?
He's very old. He does not.
I mean, I would prefer if you don't ask any follow-up questions asking me to prove it, but generally in the broad sense, yes.
Can someone please come help this old man? Hey, Marlo! So that thing you were talking about the other day...
Now, Orlok, what have we told you? This is why your tally marks look like this. We need to socialize you in a better way. This is terrible. You cannot do this to people. It's emotional vampirism. You know, we're not into that sort of thing.
And from behind Carmilla and Orlok, two Igors spill out of the carriage, one of whom, in a very late stage of decay and zombified, makes a beeline right for Jack. Oh, there you are, Best Body. It's been entirely too long. I have something of yours that you've left behind. There is no need to worry. I have absorbed all elements of the curse. I have an unfathomable amount of negative temporary hit points. And he hands over to you the bookmark.
Oh, shit!
As your consolation prize for getting your legendary weapon last and so late, you get an uncursed +2 dagger that once per day can cast Dimension Door.
Oh, that's so badass.
It additionally also adjusts your critical threshold so that your attacks deal critical damage on a 19 or 20.
Ooh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you. I've got some stuff for you too.
You don't have to do that. That's so like you, best friend.
Oh boy, this is gonna get complicated.
Is it a gift for me, or is it a gift for Igor? And then he summons over the other Igor, who says, I was told that you needed to do some resupplying. I come bearing commerce. He pulls open his cloak, and it's lined with a D&D shop.
Well, there's a merchant and everything.
We do have in our possession the finest assortment of second-hand potions from the famous Dr. Henry Jekyll.
Oh, do you? Oh, let me go see. And I look and it's like, yeah, that's watered down. Yeah, that's not as good as the one that I have in my pocket. Yeah, no.
Very well. Suit yourself.
Erik strolls right up, tries to make eye contact, and then shakes his head. I'm sorry, I still hate you. I'm so sorry. You two are very off-putting to me.
I appreciate the compliment.
Oh. Okay, well, here. So use this gold to make this armor, whatever my AC should be. Whatever would be good, and an adequate amount.
While shopping stuff happens, let's cut back to the Frankensteins.
So yeah, now I can do magic, and I guess in a way I did upgrade, except I upgraded in a different way than you normally do.
Right.
I'm impressed.
Did you just say you were impressed?
Well, you improved yourself. I didn't think it could be done. Frankly, I'd given up on you, but you've determined to prove me wrong. I am a man of science, and I can see with verifiable evidence you are stronger than when I last saw you. So maybe I have to rethink some things.
Mary just kind of like sits behind us, like, hey, I impressed the all-powerful Victor Frankenstein. Ha 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 ha. I imagine you have questions. So this is my promise to you, Percy. Stay alive. I'll do the same, and I will tell you everything that has happened. and what we can do moving forward.
I think you have yourself a deal, Mary, but I wouldn't worry yourself about me. I can handle myself. If you need help on the battlefield, though, just scream loudly and dance around, and I'll do my best to make my way over to you.
And Igor looks to Igor and says with a smirk, "Oh, I just love a good family reunion."
Mind Flayer glare at him.
And then, materializing from the ethereal plane, Kilmarnock begins to arrive on the scene, starts to announce his presence, looks around and sees that everyone's distracted by just the huge horde of miscellaneous other people. So, as everybody prepares themselves, Maleva is going to gather everyone together before she departs, and is going to say, where we stand right now, things are dire. My reading of our situation is akin to being at the base of the tower, which is a card of great calamity, upheaval, and change. Whatever happens, things will not be the same on the back end of this as they are currently. It is a difficult stage of transition, but one that is necessary. And although things are dire, I believe deeply that even when good is not strong enough to triumph, that evil will always bring about its own downfall. So it is the job of the righteous and the good to persist and survive. It is on all of us to outlast this difficult time. I do not know which of us will see the other side, but I know that even if we fail here, it is our efforts to keep the light of good kindled and lit that will pave the way for the eventual downfall of whatever it is we face. But I know that if any group is stubborn enough to look at these odds unflinchingly and prove them wrong, it is all of you. Do what it is you do best. I am just an old sentimental woman, but I will leave this in your more capable hands while I stand out of your way.
Thank you, Maleva. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything you continue to do, Lawrence. I wish you all the best of fortune. I hope to see you all on the other side, to see how our fortunes may change. And with that, she departs, your forces assemble, and you can feel that the end is nigh.
We are the outcasts, the misfits you might say. We deal with the nightmares that you run away from every single day. We know the world is a gruesome little place, but us outsiders, we've developed quite a taste for the grisly and morbid, the ghastly and the horrid. We know it's awful dreadful, but we like it. Just another haunted night, shrouded with unearthly fright. So when you're oh so terrified, you know who to call. The world is falling apart, we'll never take it to heart. Some monsters and creatures and spirits and specters and all, let's all have a ball.
Mary just like tucks away a little piece of paper that odds of Phantom dying again and just tucks it away because he's gonna start a pool with the rest of the group.
Oh my God. We're gonna start a betting pool?
No! Oh no!
Phantom slips a couple of francs into the Phantom's gonna die column.